Alright, what's up? End of week 3, coming on to week 4. I'm gonna begin with how this week went overall. To begin with Monday, I did not trade, and same with Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. Tuesday and Monday I didn't trade. Just double check on that. Monday didn't trade, Tuesday didn't trade. Monday and Tuesday I did not trade. Right. After the week prior, being that I broke my rules, I came into this week with a fresh mind. I was just sticking to my plan. If something showed up, something showed up. If something didn't show up, something didn't show up. I didn't base my entries off of anything other than my plan. Both those days went good. I'm pretty sure Monday we didn't have anything, simply for the fact that nothing was created. It was just straight down, and the trades that were there were trades there, but there wasn't anything according to my plan. There was nothing that I could trade off of. Tuesday, I do remember that we had a trade at 9:30 exactly, but I didn't look over and look through the previous cycle Kraken correlations. So in other words, I didn't find anything according to my plan again. And then when I did, it was too late. So it was just, I missed my initial trade. I was like, okay, stepped away for the day. And now coming into Wednesday, I did take a trade. I took a short pre 9:30 due to just my plan playing out perfect. It was everything according to it. There was nothing there was nothing there that specifically had me going off the rails or anything. And there was no psychological input or output. The only thing about that day was that I came onto the charts and I was having food while looking at the charts, so I wasn't paying enough attention as I should have, whereas I could have gotten a better entry if I was. But shit happens, you have to learn from that. And I did. Came onto the day, next couple days fresh, no food, according to my plan. There was stuff that was according to my plan, but I didn't take the trade. I had missed my entry, or my limit hadn't been filled. So I forward tested after those trades. After the trades have been missed, to practice on my rebalance entries, which overall, my rebalance entries, they were kind of like, they were according to my plan, but they also weren't. Like, I was testing some new things out to see what would work and see what wouldn't work. And it taught me a lot about different confluences, like for example CRT. I don't know if you guys trade it, I don't know if you guys know what it is, but I'm not going to get into how it works, etc. But when rebalancing into CRT, you needed a certain level to be hit within CRT, all that sort of thing, whereas other extreme mechanics that I would use, you don't want to rebalance for it to work out. So it taught me a lot about rebalances, something I needed to learn, something I need to backtest a lot more, because I backtest just straight entries off of the confidence I get, whereas I don't really backtest like my rebalance entries after my initial model has presented itself. If I've missed my initial trade, there is always a chance to catch a rebalance, but not always. Like 80% of the time there's a chance to catch a rebalance if it's like a very distinguished distribution day, But yeah, hold on. Cup of tea, man. Cup of tea. Get my throat warm so I can talk. I don't know if you guys remember the first video, but when I talk for too long, my throat, it gets all like caught up. It gets like sore and like closes. I get like less air. But that's besides the point. Anyway, how I feel within my journey after finishing off week 3. In specifics, dealing with the ideology of passing an account, or like passing an eval, feeling good about yourself, or getting that first payout. These are all things that are specifically something we're trying to hit. We're actively seeking that outcome. We're actively seeking to pass that account, and we're actively seeking to get that first payout. And I'm speaking in like an outside perspective, because I'm sure you guys are going through the same exact thing, trying to seek your first payout, trying to get consistent with payouts, whatever it may be. We're all seeking something, but what trading entails is, it's different to most things, because when you're in a business, when you're in a business, you're going to be constantly seeking more sales. You're going to be like, you're going to do things, you're going to advertise, and you're going to push out what you're selling as much as you can, because the improvement is getting the sales. Whereas in trading, it's more of the improvement is not getting the payout, it's not getting the evals, it's not passing the evals, it is doing stuff in order so that the outcome of what you're doing gets that. It's tough to explain, but to put it in simpler terms, it's like you do the things necessary to get you to a certain point. Whereas you're doing the same thing with business, but you get the outcome instantly. Whereas this is like you stack the improvements up on top of each other until that comes. And I mean, I've passed an eval before. I've gotten 300 away from a payout before. Like, it's not something I haven't done prior. But just because I haven't done it prior doesn't mean I shouldn't actively be trying to improve myself while trying to get to that certain point again. I haven't been on XFA, I haven't been on the funded stage in about maybe 2 months. It's November, about 2 months. So it was about end of September is when I got off XFA, around there. And ever since I've been on eval for the first month, October, I blew, I'm gonna say, like at least 6 evals in that whole month. Ridiculous. But when I look back on things, it was needed. It was very much needed. So I'm dealing with timestamps as a whole. Like, am I going to pass my eval this week, or am I going to secure that payout next month, or when am I going to reach that 10k month? It's gotten to a point now where it's like, it'll come in a matter of time. I just need to constantly seek improvement if I want that. And if I'm not seeking improvement to reach that point in my training journey, then I won't make it consistent. I'll hit it, I'll hit that result, I'll get that outcome eventually. But if I'm not constantly seeking improvement within myself, I won't get to the consistency of constantly taking out the outcome, and I won't be constantly taking a payout, I won't be constantly passing evals consistently if I'm not doing something where I'm improving myself 1% each day. So dealing with the impatience of all of this. So impatience comes into this with the idea of, if I can't reach to a certain point, like you set your timestamps for yourself. You set these timestamps where it's like, I want to pass my eval this week and be on XFA by next Monday. Like, in the grand scheme of things, that doesn't matter. It doesn't. It's like more of a thing where, okay, you'll get that eventually. You just need to be patient about it. Like, it'll come, and as long as you're doing what's necessary to get there, it'll just come. And when it does, take no notice, because it's still the same thing. You're still trading the same, you're still doing the same things. The only thing that's different is the name of your account and the more possible outcome of getting the money into your bank account. I mean, that's going to come naturally. If we're trying to get this consistently, if we're trying to get it to become a full-time thing where I can quit my job, where I can leave school and I can drop out of college, like if I want to do all these things, I'm going to eventually get used to the fact of taking in money from it, because it is inevitably going to be a full-time job. So when those times come, when you pass those evals, when you get that payout, I've figured out that even though I haven't gotten a payout yet, I know within myself that when it does come, I'm going to want it to feel like the pat yourself on the back or be proud of yourself because you've done it, like you've made some money from the thing you've been grinding so hard for. I would love to do that, but I don't think that's how we should be going about it, because if it's supposed to be a regular thing, I need to act like it's a regular occurrence. It's like, the idea of fake it until you make it. Tough cup, right? Eat, sleep, trade, and repeat. It's just forgetting the little minor discipline part and focus on what's actually needed, not just get up and trade. But whatever, it's still a fire ass cup. But anyway, I was saying how you can't be okay, you can't get overly excited. You can't be overly excited when you get that payout or when you pass your chem, because if you are, then you're gonna get ahead of yourself too fast. And that's what I done when I got on my eval. I passed my first eval in July, and I got ahead of myself. I stopped backtesting. I stopped journaling seriously enough to find improvements. I was just journaling what was on the screen, rather than what was going wrong. And if I broke my rules, I wasn't understanding why I broke my rules. I was just telling myself how much a piece of shit I am for doing so, and that's, you're not going to learn anything from that. You can call yourself a piece of shit a million times, but what's calling yourself a piece of shit going to teach you? If anything, it's just going to lower your self-esteem to the point where you don't even feel like you're good enough to be a trader. And that's what happens. And it's a pure mental game within yourself at the end of the day. It really is. It's like you're constantly fighting a battle with your own brain, back and forth. Okay, Rio, you're a piece of shit. You're a piece of shit. Okay, Rio, you can't even trade. What are you doing? You don't even know what's on the screen. And then when you look at it from a bird's eye perspective, it's well, you're not doing anything to actively seek the confidence that you need to be able to trade proudly and confidently on the charts. If you're taking stupid entries off of an inverse fair value gap and trying to target 100 points, then wake up, wake the fuck up. That's not gonna get you nowhere. And back to dealing with the money aspect of things, funds without trading aren't great. I deal with my own personal problems like any other person, and there's parts of me that wants to get to payouts consistently so I can get out of this rut that I'm in financially. And it's tough to try balance the two, because you want to get to somewhere so fast, but you also can't rush the process. You can't actively I'm gonna get a payout next week, or I'm gonna fucking full port my account so that I can get there faster, or I'm gonna size heavy so I can get to that payout faster. I can't do that. So the patience and dealing with the money output of things, it's kind of okay, I may not be financially great right now, and this is what I'm doing. I may not be financially great right now, and things might not be ideal in my scenario in life, but it won't be like this forever. And although I am a year into trading, and people who I've told I was trading maybe a year ago are looking at me now, seeing that he's still not making any money, may look at me differently, oh, this guy's chasing a silly dream. I personally don't care, but I guess the facts of it is that I want to get that payout. I want to get there faster, but pushing myself to get there faster, the only thing I can do to push myself to get there faster is to actively backtest, to actively journal, to do things that are going to improve myself once again. I need to constantly keep the improvement going. I need it. Once you're improving 1% every day, it's a compound effect. These things just come naturally. So it's week 3, end of week 3, and remember, we go back onto the thing. I'll put it up on screen again. The neural pathways strengthen. The one rule execution starts feeling natural. Tilt still triggers, but you can pause and reset easier. I didn't tilt this week, and I stuck to my one rule parameters. I stuck to all my rules. I stuck to my plan, and that's great. That's just because my neural pathways are strengthening. you know. And if tilt was to occur next week, I wouldn't be surprised, and I wouldn't take it so heartfelt like I would before. It would be just something I'd have to move over, step over, but remember the step I took to take over, like to get past that point. But yeah, sorry, I skipped over, but money aspect, like I'm not in the best financial situation, but I know that in time, all this stuff that I'm working towards will come. Like the consistent payouts, the first initial payout, that's all going to come. And I mean, even though that first payout would help my situation exponentially, like, I mean, just having that 1k in the bank, bro, would just improve my situation 100-fold, you know? But I can't rush that. I can't like just get to that point, and I can't over leverage. I can't do all these things to get to that point, because if I do, I most likely won't get to that point, if you get what I'm saying. Like, that's not how this trading shit works. We need to take our time with it. We need to just let God do his thing. And that's another thing I feel very within. I'm starting to build my relationship a lot more stronger with Jesus and God in general, because I know that if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be in the position that I'm in today. I wouldn't. I mean, like, I'm blessed to be in a situation today. I have a roof over my head, I have a bed, you know. I just turned 19, another year to be grateful and blessed for. I got a beautiful mom. I got an amazing family, you know. Like, life is good, man, you know. I'm not hungry, I'm not starving, I'm not sleeping outside. Man, I saw this dude only a couple of days ago, and it was raining outside. It was pouring rain, and it was 8 a.m. in the morning, and he had just woken up in his sleeping bag in the middle of the street. And I mean, you know, it wasn't like a tweak or anything, but after I had a conversation with dude, could very possibly have been, but he seemed like a genuine dude, you know. And I went and got him a coffee or whatever. Moving on to the fact, it was just like, when you look at people from your standpoint to where they are, it's just such a different life. Like, that guy probably doesn't have any family, and if he does, his family's not taking care of him. You know, he doesn't have a loving family like I do. He doesn't have the roof above his head. He doesn't have an amazing parent to look after him. You know, you don't have these things to spoil them. You know, some people don't even got the some people don't even got the like experience of having a family. Sorry, that's it. The experience of having a family, like, some people don't even get that chance. And you have to look back and you have to think about all these scenarios that God has put you through, and really understand how blessed you truly are, you know. And that's something that I've been really trying to get into. And the word of God, you know, and I'll be so real, I'll be so transparent. I haven't read any sort of like religious book, like so I grew up as a Christian, and then I reverted to Islam, because my father's side is Islamic, and I don't know them, but I wanted to get more in tune with that. And my girlfriend at the time was also Muslim, so it was like I wanted to be accepted within our family and whatnot. And yeah, you know, it's like I want to learn more about the Word of God, and I wanted to read those books, but I never read the Quran. I never read anything like that. But what I did do was I didn't read it. I would watch these TikToks of like Quran quotes and like Bible quotes and all this, and I used to find it so fascinating, but I never truly sat down and read it. And if I want to build that relationship, rather than just praying and looking up and in bed every night on my knees praying, you know, and just building that connection with God and Jesus in my mind, reading how he was brought up, like John Matthews, all of that, like reading who the person Jesus was and learning how he lived his life is so important to learning how to act as a human being, how to treat others, whether they treat you bad, whether they stepped on your name, still treat them with gratitude, treat them with the kindness that you would like to be treated with, even if they aren't doing that to you, And yeah, look, my psychological input and output, besides the fact of dealing with the timestamps, impatience, the money, and just spiritually, I mean, there is no input or output on the charts. I'm not eager to over leverage. I'm not eager to press the button. As noticed, I only took one valid trade this week, and the other two trades were forward tested and me learning more about my model. I knew I had missed my initial trade and I wasn't eager to trade. I just wanted to learn more about how my model moves in retrospect to rebalances, So psychological input to charts, there isn't any, and the output afterwards, there isn't any either. I'm doing my thing, I'm journaling, I'm trading every day, and I'm back testing. I'm doing the things that are needed to get me to where I need to be. But look, overall, how I feel for the future with turning 19 and being over a year into my journey, and I'm sure you guys have noticed by now the balloons on my bed. I just turned 19 yesterday, and with that being said, I looked back on the year. I haven't really deeped looking back on it yet. But when I look back on it right now in the current situation, a year ago, I turned 18 and I was in a bar with my family, and we were having drinks and, celebrating me turning 18. Because that's what people do in Ireland. When you turn 18, it's like you go out, you celebrate the fact that you're 18 and you have a drink because you are now legal. But that's beside the point. You're now legal to drink, right? And we went to the pubs. And with that, it taught me so much about what I wanted as a person. And when I turned 18, I wasn't really giving a fuck about the whole discipline aspect of trading. I didn't know much about it. All I was thinking about were fair value gaps. There's a specific time, literally a year ago yesterday, when I was in that pub and we were all going home. I went up to the security guard and I asked him, it was a woman, I said, "Do you even know what a fair value gap is?" And she looked at me like, what the fuck? Get this drunk retard away from me, type shit. I was on a mad one, and my brother, he can stand and say that I was going crazy. I was asking everyone what a fair value gap was. I bet you don't know what a motherfucking fair value gap is. Shit will make you millions. And I remember I was talking to this random dude in the bar. I was talking to this dude. He was he was from Thailand. And I was telling him how he should start trading, and how in a couple months he'll be in Dubai with a bunch of honeys if he starts trading. And he was pure taking that shit up. I think I remember his name was Taiwa Pak. That was his name, Taiwa Pak. I was telling him, he was just listening. He wasn't taking in any of what I was saying, because I don't know, dude didn't really give a fuck. Dude was 40, and I'm talking to him about fair value gaps. ICT. I'm telling you, bro, ICTs, it will make you rich. You could be living in Dubai in the penthouses. This is the type of stuff I was saying a year ago. Pure tunnel vision on the outcome rather than the steps needed to get to that outcome. I didn't think one bit about what was involved. I just saw back testing, and I saw the charts, and I saw that the money would go up and down, and I was in my head, I'm thinking, realistically, how hard can it be to just predict a candlestick going up or down? And in realistics, it's not hard once you understand your model and stuff. But what's difficult is dealing with your psychological input and output. It's which one are you going to prioritize? Are you going to prioritize making that fortress in your brain, or are you going to prioritize just jerking off the outcome. Like, you're just mentally masturbating. That's what it is. You're mentally masturbating with the outcome in mind. Oh, imagine when I'm cruising in my Lambo, and I'm just looking at all the huzz outside the window, and they're like, "Ooh, nice car," and I'd be like, "Yeah, get the fuck away from me! I got a shovel in the back. It's gold," And it's like, or you're in your apartment and you're just like, the boys ring and they're like, "Come on, we're going out to this fucking 5-star restaurant, high rise. We're gonna have a steak on a rib." Like, Wagyu beef, pay fucking $500 for a steak. Like, that's the type of shit you're mentally masturbating about. And that's the type of shit I was mentally masturbating about. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be in Dubai. I'm gonna be at the highest of the fucking, what's it called, the Burj Khalifa or something. Be at the highest point of that, having my 19th birthday there, while I'm having my 18th in some bar. Whereas in reality, that's not how it went. I'm a year into this. I'm 19, and not much has changed in the grand scheme of things, in like the realistic life aspects. Like, I still got the same stuff. I still got my bedroom. I still got my cups, and I still got my family, But what I have now, and what I didn't have before, is the mental clarity that a trader needs. I have the analytic performance, like I know I can trade. I have the schematic of how to deal with my psychology. I have my plan set. I'm a way more disciplined human being. I'm no longer seeking the money aspect of things. Of course, there's going to be a part of me that wants the money, but what I'm seeking more than the money is my relationship with God. It's like, I want to build that strong bond with God as much as I can. Because I know that's what's going to get me there. I'm going to be so thankful for God for all of these things that He's done for me. Because without Him, I wouldn't get to the places I want to be. And even then, even if there wasn't anywhere I wanted to be, having a relationship with God will teach you how to be a better person within, let's say, your social life, or let's say, it'll remove your lustful thoughts, like going out on a Saturday night or a random night during the weekday, and you're going out for the only factor of getting drunk with your friends and then finding a girl to bring home, and it's like, there's no actual, making love, that sort of thing isn't supposed to be something that just happens like that. It's something, it's supposed to be special. That's why lust has so much power, because this generation nowadays looks at what porn has, and they're like, yeah, just treat women with the disrespect that porn shows, and like catcalling and all that. Like, I mean, that's just it's ignorant at the end of the day. And I mean, learning more about God's word will teach you the difference between this generation and what it should be. But yeah, now moving on from that whole factor, what have I learned this week and what have I improved on? So, I mean, looking back at what I've spoke about now, I mean, 3-4 weeks ago, my patience was terrible. I just wanted to get to the outcome as fast as possible. So I've made a huge improvement on not rushing. I'm not trying to run to pass my account. I'm taking this step by step to do so that it's just my second nature to do all these things. I'm gonna pass accounts, my second nature, likely by 2026. I'll just be like, alright, pass another account. If I have to leverage high, I'll leverage high, whatever. I have the money to throw into that. And I mean, not rushing to get that payout, it'll all become something that's just regular to me, and I need to just let it come. Like, stuff will come, and it'll come likely in an unexpected time, because I'm not focused on when it's coming. It'll come. I just need to focus on what I need to do to get to that point. and what I need to actively do to stay at that point, and rebalances. I learned about how to specifically trade rebalances. I still need to backtest it a lot more, but I got a lot better of an idea of how to trade them, rather than just focusing on the one entry criteria when I can have two entry criterias. Another thing that taught me very much was hesitation. I missed out on Tuesday because I hesitated. And on Wednesday, the reason I missed my entry was because I was eating one, and I did recognize that my setup was there, but because I was eating and because I wasn't paying enough focus, I hesitated. But in instances like this, when my plan and my model arises, I just need to be pressing the button. I press the button, put my stop above the protected zone, whatever, and then I just let it go. Let whatever happens. No psychological input, no psychological output. You can never be 100%. Jason told me this. You can never be 100% with your model when it's live in front of you on the charts. Never. Like, you can have your model down to T, and you can have everything that aligns with your model, but you will never truly be 100% that it's going to work out. And if you are, then it's likely for it to maybe not even work out, because nothing in the charts is 100%. Your model can be there and it can still not work out. You just have to trust within yourself and your confidence that the amount of hours you backtest, the amount of times you've seen your model play out, that it'll work out this time. And if it doesn't, it's okay, because you followed your model. And then overall importance within spending time with God, Jesus, building my relationship with God. And I started reading the Bible. I started focusing more on how the upbringing of Jesus became, and then the type of actions he'd done while he was alive. And then lastly is family. I've been trying to spend more time with family. Although I don't have enough time to myself, it's important to have that time away from the charts and time away from all the drama and the stressful times that you create within your mind, because that's what happens. Like, you're journaling, you're paying so much attention to just this one thing. That's why spending time with God and family is so important, because if you're not doing that, then you're going to get this clouded mind of just what happened yesterday, what happened last week. You broke your rules last week, why aren't you should likely be breaking them now. And you're gonna put all these things that don't have any meaning to where you are at currently to your now situation. You're not gonna be fully there. So you need to have a time where you step away, you refresh your mind, come back, reset. You need to reset always, because your mind can be easily clouded. That's what I'm trying to say. And I guess that's it, for week 3 ending, week 4 coming up. Let's just stick to what I've been doing, stick to what I know best, following my plan, following my model, waking up in time for the charts, getting on at whatever time. If my model arises, my model arises. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Step away, just continue journaling. I need to backtest more. That's a fact. You need to backtest a lot more. I want like Rio, I know you're rewatching this, backtest at least 2 weeks. Yeah, backtest at least 2 weeks this week. Okay. Come back then end of week 4 and say it to the camera that you backtested that 2 weeks. In depth, obviously, with paragraphs on top of paragraphs, and just keep up the rule following. Continue to stick to your model. And for anyone else watching this that is listening to how my journey is going, I appreciate you for watching. I appreciate you for taking time to listen to me yap. I am not profitable yet, but I will be, and I promise you that I won't ever stop, and I won't ever stop keeping the consistency to get to where I need to be, and I will do that. Word of God, I will get to that point. But yeah, there isn't much more to say. If any of you have to take anything from this video, it's build your relationship with God. It's so powerful what he can do and what he'll teach you. You know, it's like all these quote unquote bad things that happen in your life, they're all turning points that you can either go down the wrong path and it's going to set you down a constant compound effect of going down, or you can, while you're on that compound effect of taking bad choices, God will be there. Like, you know, you want to come to him, you don't go and take a shower if you're not dirty. You know, and this is something that I've heard before in TikToks, and Jesus doesn't want you, and God doesn't want you to come to him when you're clean. If anything, he wants you to come to him when you're dirty and when you're feeling the worst you can be, you know, and that way then he can help you to overcome whatever struggles you're going through. He'll teach you so much about yourself. He'll teach you what's right from wrong. If you read the scripture, if you read anything to do, if you listen to podcasts about it, there will be little imprints in those podcasts, and there'll be imprints in the scripture that you're reading, and there'll be imprints in everything around you of him speaking to you in the way that you understand, in the way that you see it clear. It is truly amazing, the power of God and what he can truly teach us. So if there's any advice I take from this video, is just follow God, man. It'll teach you so much about yourself, and in this trading game, without him, it's going to be rough, you know. And of course, stay consistent with what you're doing. And yeah, I appreciate you for watching the video, and I will catch you boys next week.